Now, Myanmar's pro-democracy protesters are marching again after the deadliest day of crackdown since last month's military coup. The UN Human Rights Office says 18 people were killed, more than 30 injured by police and military forces on Sunday. But the protesters are back in the streets, showing their resilience and their defiance. They're demanding the army give back power to the civilian government, including Aung San Suu Kyi, the deposed leader. She's due to appear in court today. Ivan Watson is following all of this for us from Hong Kong. I mean, this has just become more brutal and more deadly in the face of peaceful protests. How much further might it escalate?
Well, I mean, Sunday was clearly a turning point, Michael. There has been at least one protester who's died as a result of injuries over the course of the last month, but we've seen a sudden escalation in the violence on the streets, and not just in one location. According to the UN Human Rights Office, there was deadly violence in at least 7 different towns and cities across Myanmar on Sunday. I believe we have a map that we could show you just to indicate that this wasn't in just the commercial capital Yangon or in Mandalay, one of the largest cities, but you had almost simultaneous use of apparently deadly force by the security forces, again, according to the United Nations Human Rights Office, in at least 7 different locations all on the same day. That suggests a real change in the posture of the security forces against the demonstrators in the civil disobedience movement that has been out in the streets now for 4 straight weeks. You mentioned that Aung San Suu Kyi, who was the de facto leader of the civilian government that was overthrown on February 1st, she is due to appear in court. We have not been able to hear from her lawyer until now, who was also denied a chance to meet with her client before a previous court appearance. So we're not sure what's going to happen with that right now. But it was a deadly day and really a suggestion that there could be more of this deadly violence going forward. Michael.
And Ivan, do we have any sense of what the military's aim is? I mean, what it's doing is essentially ensuring that people are going to reject them and their political role completely. I mean, you can only suppress and repress for so long. Is there any idea what the end game is?
Well, I mean, the military made the argument, it tried to justify the coup on February 1st, claiming that an election in November, where the main political party of Aung San Suu Kyi won resoundingly, that the election was stolen from them. And has used that as justification to move out the civilian government. And the response has really been across all sectors of society, as well as the civil service. So we have a lot of indications that the transport sector, for example, trains and domestic flights have been all but paralyzed by people not going to work. That, in addition to a protest movement that is out on the streets day after day, the military has shut down internet communications night after night for more than a week. That doesn't seem to have quelled the protest movement. And then there have been a growing number of arrests, usually taking place under cover of darkness as well. And the military seems to be increasingly isolated internationally. So the condemnations were pouring in from the violence on Sunday. Antony Blinken, the U.S. Secretary of State, tweeting, "We condemn the Burmese security forces' abhorrent violence against the people of Burma and will continue to promote accountability for those responsible." The UN Secretary General coming out with a statement condemning the violence and the military. And we had really interesting drama playing out in the UN General Assembly on Friday, Michael, where Myanmar's ambassador to the UN, of course, appointed by the former ousted government, the civilian government, came out and denounced the military coup and called on the international community to stand by, as he put it, the people of Myanmar. Even waved the 3-finger symbol that has been a symbol of the protest movement. And then subsequently on military state TV, you had this announcement announcing the firing of that diplomat. Take a listen.
Myanmar's permanent ambassador, Ujo Modun, doesn't follow the country's order and instructions, betrays the country, and works and helps the illegal group, which does not represent the government. He had abused the power and responsibilities of a permanent ambassador, so he has been fired, starting from the morning of February 27th, according to civil service rules and regulations.
One of the big players here is Myanmar's neighbor, China, and the Chinese ambassador to the UN put out a statement which said what happened in Myanmar is in essence Myanmar's internal affairs, also calling on the UN Special Envoy to play an important role in mediating between all sides in this. The UN Special Envoy has condemned the coup and is calling on the international community to unite against the military junta. Michael.
All right, Ivan, thanks so much. Ivan Watson covering all of that for us from Hong Kong.
Yeah. Chú có không ai mà toàn này, apa mau chỉ này, có không ai mà toàn này, nó số. Mà terus chỉ không terus yang kau aja.
တော်တော့အဲ့တေးချချင်းဖြစ်လာတယ်
ချိန်ထားရောင်တေးချိန်တာနော်ကြီးစစ်နော်ကြီးစစ်လူနာတင်လားလူနာလမ်းထားတင်လားဟိုမှာအဲ့မှာလူနာလာတင်လားတချင်းကြီး